Alright, so this summer, it's stacked, like ridiculously stacked. And sure, that sounds exciting, but if you're a game dev or a publisher, this might be your worst nightmare, because not every game is gonna make it out alive. Some will thrive. Most probably crash and burn. We're seeing title after title get crammed into this tiny release window. It's like a digital battle royale, but for launch dates. And the worst part? This isn't even the full list yet. So, real talk, what's the one game you're betting on to come out on top? Drop it in the comments. I want to know what you're rooting for. I'll be reading through all of them. Let's talk leaks, rumors, and wild guesses, and I'll tell you how believable they really are. Starting with a sad one, Titanfall 3. Last week there was a bit of hope. Some leakers were teasing it, but now Jeff Grubb shut it down. And when he talks, I listen. His track record is solid. So yeah, it's looking like Titanfall 3 is dead again. At this point, I'm thinking, let's just stop hoping, and maybe one day we'll be surprised. But for now, let it go. Now, here's a fun one. Oblivion Remake. Yep, it's back in the rumor cycle, and Jeff Grubb, again, is saying it might be shadow dropped in April. I actually believe this one. If I had to bet, it'll drop the week after next. Microsoft doesn't have anything else scheduled then. This coming week, they've got Indiana Jones launching on PS5, so dropping another Bethesda title right on top of that, not likely. But the week after, that's wide open. So yeah, this gets a solid 3 stars on the probably real scale. Let me know, would you jump into an Oblivion remake if it dropped this month, or is that a hard pass? Also, some smaller stuff. Skull and Bones. Year 2 gets announced April 14th, and yes, they're adding sword fighting. Ubisoft is still trying to save this thing. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is getting a hardcore mode on April 15th. Respect if you're going for that. You've got more patience than me. And finally, The Last of Us. Season 2 is officially airing soon. It's happening. So yeah, there's a lot going on. Big news for PlayStation owners. Some of it kinda sucks, some of it's actually decent. So as of today, April 14th, Sony just dropped a surprise price hike for the PS5 Digital Edition in a few regions, specifically the UK, Europe, Australia, and New Zealand. If you're in one of those places, yep, it's now more expensive to go digital. Sony's reasoning? The usual corporate jargon, economic challenges, inflation, currency exchange rates. You get the idea. But here's the flip side. If you've got a PS5 Pro and want to add the disk drive, there's actually some good news. That add-on drive, it's getting a price cut. Here's the updated disk drive pricing. Europe, €79, 99 cents. UK, £69, 99 pence. Australia, 124 Australian dollars, 95 cents. New Zealand, 139 New Zealand dollars, 95 cents. These prices are already live on PlayStation Direct. But heads up, you might still find better deals at local retailers for now. For example, in the UK, Argos has a PlayStation 5 Digital Edition bundle with Astrobot for just £339, 99 pence. Even Currys hasn't updated their prices yet. It's still £389 there. So if you've been eyeing a PS5 or that disc drive for your Pro, now might be the time to grab it before the changes hit everywhere else. But the big question on everyone's mind is, will the PS5 and PS5 Pro prices go up? The answer is yes. And here's why. Sony has already raised the price of the PS5 Digital Edition in several regions, the UK, Europe, Australia, and New Zealand, citing inflation and volatile currency exchange rates. But even in the US, where prices have stayed put for now, the warning signs are flashing. This isn't just a regional issue. It's part of a bigger global trend, and the US is likely next in line. Here's my take on it. Even if tariffs are paused for 90 days, the market has never been so unstable and unpredictable. Companies are watching the chaos unfold, shifts in supply chains, currency values, and international trade, and they're not waiting around to see what happens next. They might raise prices in advance just to protect their margins. If I'm an importer, you better believe my prices would be up yesterday. We've seen this playbook before. A company blames economic conditions, nudges the price up quietly, and before you know it, that becomes the new normal. So yeah, it's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. Good news for Nintendo fans, especially in the US and Canada. So people in the UK and Europe have already been pre-ordering their Nintendo Switch 2 consoles, games, and accessories through the official Nintendo store. But for folks in the US and Canada, things got held up thanks to, you guessed it, Trump's tariffs. Yeah, those tariffs caused a delay in the rollout, but now there's a light at the end of the tunnel. The tariffs have been paused for 90 days, and Nintendo of America just confirmed the pre-order date. Invites start going out May 8th, 2025. That's right. If you're registered on the Register Your Interest page for the Switch 2, keep an eye on your inbox starting May 8th. Emails will go out in batches, so don't panic if you don't get yours immediately. Eventually, they'll open it up to everyone through the My Nintendo store. Now, here's the catch. Nintendo's putting some eligibility filters on who gets those early invites. To qualify, as of April 2nd, you need to have purchased a Nintendo Switch Online membership, held a paid membership for at least 12 months, opted in to share your gameplay data, and have at least 50 hours of total gameplay. Basically, they want to reward long-time and active fans first. Fair enough, just a heads up, the pre-order window in North America is pretty tight. You'll only have less than 30 days before the Switch 2 officially drops on June 5th. There's also talk that Nintendo might stick to that sweet $450 price tag, even with all the economic weirdness. Fingers crossed, that doesn't change. So, yeah, May 8th. Mark your calendar. Check your inbox. And if you're planning to grab the Switch 2 day one, make sure you meet those requirements. Okay, let's talk Marathon. This is Bungie's next big thing. First game after they got bought by Sony, and it's dropping September 21st, on the exact same day as Borderlands 4. So, yeah, bold move. And look, I really wanted this to be a win for them. Sony spent close to $4 billion on Bungie. Destiny 2's player base has been fading. They needed Marathon to be the comeback story. But after watching the reveal, I'm not sold. The visuals are slick. The gunplay, classic Bungie, feels amazing. But once you get past the surface, it's just another extraction shooter. You drop in as a team of 3, do some basic objectives, loot stuff, extract. We've seen this formula before. And here's the weird part. There's barely any PvP. You're in a lobby with tons of players, but there's almost no friction, no real pressure, just AI fights and light objectives. It's like they stripped out the tension, which is kind of the whole point of this genre. There's no ranked mode, no onboarding, no story, nothing that hooks you. And get this, it's launching in 5 months. Feels like they're rushing out a 0.5 version of the game just to get feedback, and then plan to build the real game later. Oh, and it costs $40 per person. So yeah, you and 2 friends each have to drop $40 just to try it together. In an already oversaturated genre, that's a hard sell. So here's the honest question. Are you in, or are you passing on this one? I want to hear from you. Is this a wait and see, or are you already over it? All right, this one's funny. So Mafia: The Old Country was already rumored to drop this summer, right? But now, we know exactly when. August 8th. How do we know that? Because Take-Two accidentally leaked it themselves. Yeah, they put the date in a Steam blog post, then quietly edited it out. But the internet moves fast. Someone snagged a screenshot, Spanish version of the post, by the way, and boom, the date's right there in the final paragraph. And here's the cool part. They're planning a full reveal on May 8th. That's during their Apex East panel, and it'll stream live on YouTube and Twitch. So what's the game actually about? We're going back to early 1900s Sicily. You play as Enzo, a guy who grew up working in the mines. Super rough childhood, but now he's trying to escape that life and prove himself to the Dontoasi Mafia family. It's not full open world like Mafia 3, but it's still got some breathing room, more structured, more cinematic, and yeah, Hangar 13 is back. They made Mafia 3 and the definitive edition. This is their first real game since 2016, so you can bet they're putting everything everything into this. Honestly, I liked the first trailer. The tone, the setting, the voice acting. It's got potential. Are you into it or nah? Let me know in the comments. I'm really curious if people are actually hyped for this one or if it's flying under the radar. Alright, so here's where things get real. From August to the end of September, it's gonna be chaos, like actual launch day mayhem. Everyone's trying to avoid GTA 6 because, yeah, Rockstar's still aiming for late October or mid-November. And if you're a developer, you do not want your game anywhere near that. So what's the solution? Stack all your releases right before it. That's why August and September are now overloaded. And honestly, it's not gonna end well for a lot of these games. It's shaping up to be a bloodbath. We're talking about the summer of death. Too many games, not enough time, not enough money in people's wallets. So here's the question. Which games do you think will actually survive this madness? And more importantly, which ones are doomed from the start? Sound off in the comments. I want to hear your predictions. Okay, quick detour into the galaxy, far, far away, because we've got some pretty exciting Star Wars stuff on the horizon. First up, we're getting a brand new turn-based tactics game. It's called Star Wars: Zero Company. Think XCOM, but with blasters, Jedi, and a squad full of Star Wars characters like Scatic. It's getting announced on April 19th, so yeah, that one's right around the corner. Then, the day before that, on April 18th, we're getting a full showcase for the second DLC for Star Wars Outlaws. So if this expansion keeps that same quality, we might be looking at something even better. I'm expecting a May or June release window for the DLC, by the way. That seems to line up with their pacing. Let me know, are you more into the tactical side of things or the story-driven DLC content? Personally, I'm leaning toward the turn-based game just because I want something fresh. But both sound promising. According to Matt Piscatella from Circana, yeah, anything's technically possible, especially for a game as hyped as GTA 6. But is $100 reasonable? Not really. He said something like, you want as many people as possible to buy your game, so why price it so high you scare them off? It just doesn't make sense. Another expert, Joost van Dronen from NYU, agrees it'd be a bad move. He basically says, look, GTA 5 worked so well because of its smart pricing, launching at a regular price, and then reselling the game to people when they upgraded to newer consoles. Why mess with a strategy that's printing money? But here's the catch. Even though most analysts agree that the base game probably won't hit $100, publishers are already charging $100 or more for special editions. You know, collector's editions or early access versions. Publishers like WB Games, Xbox, EA, and Ubisoft are already doing it. Basically, if you want to play a game a few days early or get some digital extras, you're paying that premium. Reese Elliott from Media puts it like this. Charging $100 for a basic game would be a bridge too far. Sure, people would still buy GTA 6 at that price. It's freaking GTA 6 after all. But it would seriously piss off a lot of players. And since Rockstar makes most of its money from GTA Online anyway, it would be a dumb move to risk losing players at launch. Speaking of GTA Online, that's the real moneymaker. Analysts are saying the same model from GTA 5 will probably carry over to GTA 6. James McWhirter from Omdia pointed out that GTA Online was what kept GTA 5 relevant for so long, and that's not going to change. He figures Rockstar will launch GTA Online separately, or maybe bundle some online perks with the single-player game to get more people hooked. And look, Rockstar's already been experimenting with stuff like GTA Plus, a subscription service. Some analysts think we might even see battle passes or other monetization tricks to squeeze more money out of players without jacking up the base price. But here's the bottom line. Analysts pretty much all agree that GTA 6 probably won't launch at $100. They'll likely stick to the $70 standard and just bank on selling a ton of copies. One analyst even predicted GTA 6 could sell around 38 million copies in its first year, raking in about $2.7 billion.
With enhanced graphics and seamless world transition, you'll be immersed in the Wizarding world like never before.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
What exactly do you mean when you say enhanced graphics?
What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean?